doing blessed and highly favored, and definitely hope the same for you. And if this is your first time stopping by my channel, much love to you and welcome. And to my returning subs, my growing extended beautiful family, just thank you so much for the love and support. Even though I tell y'all this all the time, I really truly appreciate you. With me being able to share my journey of experiences, as you're doing the same, is truly a blessing that we can all be connected in that way. So excuse me. With that being said, sorry about it, y'all. With that being said, much love to y'all. Much love to all. Namaste. Love and blessings, love and light, and many blessings are definitely coming your way. And if you have been watching my videos for a while and have not already, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know when I'm about to upload my next video. Also, if you're comfortable enough, drop me a line or two. I would love the chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me. Even if it's about the positive feedback to the content of my video, or you're just up telling me about your empathic gift, how it impacts your life and heading you towards a positive direction. And if you feel like the videos are informative, give you good vibes, inspiration, uplift that you would love to share with a loved one, family, or a friend, or even a fellow empath that may be going through some trying times at the moment and just needing confirmation or validation towards life path or even soul purposes, please go ahead and share them while you're at it. Give your girl a thumbs up, like, and also share on your social media favorites wherever you see fit. Thank you once again for the love and support. It's always appreciated. And I hope you're able to resonate with the content of my video. And the YouTube channel I'm using for my meditation in the background is called Music for Body and Spirit. Meditation music. And the title of the song is called Bamboo Flute Music, Chakra Healing. No loop, cleanse negative energy, meditation, and yoga. And I will post a link in the description box below. Let me turn this down a little bit. Heyoka is being careful of the seeds that you are planting. Make sure it aligns with what you're wanting to receive. That is, oh my gosh, it was so true. I was listening to a Trailblazer video. If anybody doesn't know what Trailblazers is on YouTube, it was like I've had a list, and some of y'all, I got some of my fam that is on, they got their own channel as well. Like I said, I've had my granddaughter for the last few days, and I have not been able to get in, answer emails, doing stuff. So everything is late right now. So please forgive me if I have not watched it, because I know a couple of, my love bugs that they support my channel. They're also having a channel too, and that's why I always usually try to give them a shout out, or put their link out. Just being able to say, hey, go over there and send support to them. You know, but yeah, I was watching theirs, and it was just like a couple of people that was directed towards me to send this out to them, and I still got some more other people I got to send some stuff out to. I was listening to it, and they said, make sure you're planting your seeds right. And I was like, when I say that, she gave me that shift, like, woo, that's deep. When I listen to it, and it's so true, because a lot of times we're up in here working our butts off to manifest. You're doing a whole bunch of emotional clearing, mental clearing, spiritual clearing and cleansing, to make room for what is needed most, or you is being forced upon you, like some start leaving out your life or whatever. And we're all going through an intense turnover of change. And it's like, okay, say if you're trying to manifest your own business, but if you're going in and throwing rocks in somebody else's window, it could be anything. If you're comparing your life, or if somebody is being happy by showing their progress in something, and you're down, you're downplaying it, or you're just trying to find ways to mess their stuff up. You can't, you're not planning that. Or if there are certain things you have manifest, and then you're complaining about everything you're going through, you're that's what you're planning. It's not what you put in there hoping it'll happen, but it's the nourishment you're giving for that seed to grow. And I was like, you know what? That's what I'm talking about. Shut your mouth and keep on talking. That's why I was like, oh my God, I'm going to use that, because it's like I can hear something and go about it like my own way. That's why I always tell y'all, if I find something that really has like stuck out to me, whether it was a post, or I could be watching a video and somebody will say a certain saying that can't be that, I don't try to, copyright something somebody else done wrote, but it could be something in a sentence, or, something that really dragged me. I was like, dang, that's deep. That's like really deep. Like you can suffocate, but that's a good suffocate in that. But you have to be very careful on what you're planning. It's just like people out here, like you could be doing something that I'm going through it, as well as a lot of people that I connect with. If you're trying to grow and you're allowing yourself to see that progress, like right now, I'm tired as AF right now. I've been working like cleaning my house thoroughly since 8 o'clock this morning. Didn't barely get sleep because I had my 3-year-old granddaughter. I've had her for a few days. And if anybody knows what a three, I haven't had to deal with babies in close to 20 years. My daughter, my youngest daughter, is about to be 20 on the 26th. Okay, that lets you know. Now running around with her and she's hyped up, and I'm just like, oh God, she about to make me go into the old me, about to have me, sitting around in the corner taking a shot or something like that. Thank God I didn't, you know. But it was like I'm really pushing myself, and it's just like a lot of times, you can't put up an excuse because there's gonna be days that you're not gonna get no sleep. Now, if it'll be some times, because I know there'll be some of my little bugs be like, Roslyn, you need to go take a rest, because there'll be certain times I'll get stuck on my words, and I know it's not because of me being nervous. It'll be just like my mind is in an overload, but it's like, how it is where your mind can keep going, but your body is just not matching up with your mind. And that's because I pushed out so much and I be doing a lot of stuff. And it'll be, I go from like podcasts to IG chats with people, or I'll do a live chat here. And I know I was telling you I was going to do a live chat last week, but like I said, things happen. But it's just like a lot of things you have to be able to know. When if you're a gardener, you plant your seeds. You have to be able to nourish that, make sure your plant is getting good enough light. A lot of people talk to their plants. I used to look at my mom like she was crazy. But like, what you talking to? They ain't going. What they gonna do? Leave you alone? It's like, what's gonna do? Leave you alone or wave back? What's supposed to do? Because if it start going on here like Little Shop of Horrors, I'm gone. It's like feed me horror, so I'm gone. Nope, There's just certain things I don't need to see a plant do, and if I see a plant, I'm gone. I ain't coming back. You know, but it's just like you have to be able to do that. What you're manifesting. You want good in your life. That's like I said, you gonna have people that's gonna see what you're doing. And a lot of times, like I said before, a lot of times people can see something and you're not recognizing within yourself. And a lot of times they anger about that because they want that. It's like, why can I be like that? Hell, you can. But you have to be able, you don't know what that person has sacrificed. You don't know what that person had to change. You don't know what that person had to go through to get where they're at. You can't get mad if you didn't put the work in for it. And just because that person is getting their blessings don't mean that you're not in line to get yours. But if you trying to sit up here and stay focused on them to make sure they're not growing while you're focused on that, that's all your energy is going in on trying to hurt. You can't sit up here and expect yourself to grow like that because you don't put your stuff on trying to block somebody. And guess what? When you do that, that's all you're going to be doing on your side. It's like a lot of things that may come through, but it'll be just a snippet. But then it's like a lot of other things will start falling into place. Like whatever you're doing towards that person is going to come back to you in some kind of way, whether or not you admit it or not. You'll see. And a lot of times it's hard when you're going through that, like I was saying in the last video. A lot of times it's hard for you to go through stuff, and it's just like sometimes it feel like things are just not adding up. There's a lot of things that may seem like people getting away with. Trust me, they ain't getting away with nothing. Trust that. you know, but allowing yourself, you know, to keep watering your plants. Allow yourself to just speak out to the universe. And there's times it's hard, especially when you're dealing with a lot of things, for you not to be stuck in those emotions. Like, I'm tired of pushing out so much, and then it's like I get negative back, or I'm tired of me praying for certain things or praying for certain people, and then it just seems like they keep getting worse. I'm paying for a peace of mind, and all things get chaotic. And that's how we learn our lessons. That's how we achieve a lot, because it's like you are setting in motion, like you already won the battle. You already winning what you have asked for, but it's going to be more than what is like that, because a lot of times we ask for mediocre things, and a lot of times when it comes to that, it's usually immaterialistic. Get into a comfortable lifestyle, or you wanting to have a healthy business of your own and make it skyrocket out the park, or you're wanting to find yourself in with your soulmate. All those different things are going to take place in your life, and they're trying to prepare you for what you're asking for. But there's not going to be that. You have to understand nothing in life is for free. A lot of times we want things, but we're hoping it falls in our lap for it to receive. You have to be able to put in that work. If you're wanting to manifest that, you have to make sure you're putting all that in, just like I'm doing today. I was tired. I was like, man, I'm gonna just go ahead and do my videos tomorrow. But when I put it out to the universe, I'm like, if y'all really want to make, have me do some videos, can you just please make sure I'm able to get them out? I'm tired. I even told, one of my other friends I was planning to do something. I said, if I do, I didn't put a definitely yes. I didn't put a definitely no. But I'm trying to push myself to do more, not to tire myself out until I conk out, but being able to say, at the end of the day, I can say I'm tired. I love to be able to be tired when I'm productive. I hate being tired when I'm allowing myself to focus on things that is out of my control, or I'm focusing on things if somebody did to me that I really don't understand what has been done to me. But then I had to allow myself to say, you know what? When I went through this, just like the incident I was telling y'all about the other day, that from the last video it happened the other day. I had to be proud of myself because there's a lot of times certain things will come up and make the old Roslynn want to come back, and that one is like very vicious. I don't like being like her. I don't like being like her. Even though I was a good person, I can be very hateful. I can be very mean, and I try not to be that way because it takes too much energy to be mad. It takes too much energy to be placing out there wanting to cuss people out, or they want to act stupid with you when you want to act stupid back. I've been there. I'm that type of person. I'm like Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Gemini, all that stuff wrapped in one, and that's not good, especially when you get up in your feelings and you get pissed off. I'm not a good person when it comes to that. But then it's like certain situations when I felt like it wasn't changing, you really need to step back and look at your life. And I say that a lot of times, but you have to be able to remind yourself of that. Look at all the things you've been through, and yet you still here. Okay. There's a lot of people that can't, you know what you've been through. Even though we may tell certain things, there are certain things that you keep very close, that you don't allow people to know. And I don't know your situation, but I know my situation. You know what I'm saying? And it's like a lot of times life don't seem fair. A lot of times things is just not going to go our way. Or, we may plan to do something and this is what you were sent out to do. And you may feel like this certain situation going to give you a yes, but then you open that, you knock on the door and that was a simple no. But they want to know, are you ready for what you asked for? But then you have to make sure you're putting that right work in to get what you asked for. You can't sit up here and say, oh, okay, I want me a love in my life and get me, a soulmate, or I'm trying to find my twin flame or whatever like that. Because a lot of times you run into somebody there's a false twin flame, which is preparing you to eventually find your twin flame. Because a lot of times it's like, my twin flame is dodging me, or my twin flame is very mean and hateful, and they're just down talking me. Number one, your twin flame ain't gonna never put you in a situation to make you question your ability of life, of love, integrity, peace of mind. They're not gonna do that. That's false. But they will put that in there, especially because a twin flame is something very, very powerful. And a lot of times there'll be certain things, certain people, certain situations will get in the way to make sure that doesn't connect. Because when that connects, that's something that you even get the devil shaking in his boots. That's how good it is. Because it's like, even though you're a whole person, I always say, I always used to say, oh, this is my better half, or this is my beautiful half. No, this is my extra half, my extra plus. It's like you're a whole by yourself, even though there's like one person, two people, one soul. You are a whole by yourself. But when you could become one with your twin flame, which you are already in oneness already, it's just in the physical. You're no longer there. You haven't been, well, not saying no longer there, but you're not there right now. You had to be able to interact and then get torn apart again, which is a very jacked up situation, because when you're going through separation, anxiety, spiritual transformation, going through these different things where it takes you and your twin flame through a loop. But those are the challenges that have to take place because insecurities is coming up. doubts are coming up. Whatever you're lacking needs to be able to be filled and being able to be aligned with that. And a lot of times we're like, am I going to see my twin flame? I'm going to see my twin flame. But it's just like, the question is, have you been doing the necessary changes for you to be able to meet that twin flame? Are you matching up with what your twin flame is going through? Because whatever you're going through, trust and believe your twin flame's going through it too. If they're living. With my situation, mine is no longer in the living, but we're still spiritually, we're all one, and is spiritually connected. So I feel blessed with mine, even though I was never able to meet mine and he's passed over. I can say I'm blessed because I have him mentally, emotionally, spiritually, metaphysically. And that's a beautiful thing because there's a lot of things that I don't know if I could have been able to go through if I didn't have him. Even though I appreciate him, I did a lot of my work on my own, but I'm glad I was not by myself. Even though a lot of times we go through things, we feel like we're by ourselves. We're never by ourselves. But those challenges can really get you in your feelings. Those challenges can really have you stuck in your mind. And those are the wars. Like we feel like we're in a war against the world. No, you're in a war against yourself. That's what everybody's doing right now because there's a lot of things they're having to face that they've been running from for years. Or there's a lot of people that tend to ignore that, even though every sign is pointing. You need to check yourself. You need to check what path you're trying to take. You need to check what kind of water and plants you're trying to sprout out. Whatever you're doing, you need to check that. And a lot of people are too scared to do that. So they're living through pain, just igniting, turmoil all over the place. Or there's different situations where people is just trying to, instead of facing things, you see how things are going right now in the government. And I don't deal with government, but I'm just looking at how to, manipulate, control certain situations, got to do this and this and that. Whatever's going to happen is like, even, if you're manifesting, like I said, I got kind of off cue right there. But, when you going looking for a soulmate. And I have to tell myself at times, just like I tell anybody else, and I keep it real. And a lot of people don't like that, and some people can appreciate that. What you are doing right now, mind, body, soul, spirit, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, sexually, whatever, would you date you right now? Because if you a hot ass mess, you got to think about it. Are you wanting to deal with somebody else dealing with the same stuff you're dealing with? If you already know, no, no, because that'll make me, instead, you're trying to console somebody and the help is there, but they're not willing to do it because it is too hard or it's too much or it's going to bring up some emotions that I don't want to deal with. That's what it takes. There's a lot of times the most successful people that took an L a couple of times or had really bad setbacks, had really bad blows, got the whole rug lifted off under them, and probably had the whole house dumped on top of them. But they had to be able to find their way out of that. you know. So it's just like you have to pay attention to what procedure planning, because whatever you stay focused on, I have to tell myself that time, backpedal, press the brakes. Look at all emergency exits. What is your mind on right now? Because even though there'll be certain things that you ready to go head for head, toe for toe. Because like I said, I'm loving my new me. Because if that old me comes out, I might need bail money. I like to fight. I don't. There ain't nobody I wouldn't fight. You know what I'm saying? And if I go down, whatever, you can't say I didn't get no licks in. I'd have been fighting going down, but at least I would have said I would. I got some pops in. But I'm just at that point where I'm not about to place no energy on something I already see there's going to be a never ending loop. I don't need to be the one that has to talk last or have the last word, because it's like a lot of things that I can choose to respond to and I don't. I'm going to have more peace with that, because it takes too much energy for you to be proving that you're right. Even though you got to be right, sometimes you got to be silent. You got to be able to do that. And it's just like you have to be able to do that, because a lot of times we can be stuck in our mind about what we have not yet received or what we are lacking. And I get like that at times too. Because especially I say, I can see from the choices I made, yeah, I can get that. But when people altered a lot of things, that's where my daggone, that's where that wild hair start pulling at, you know. And it's just like, it's like, even though it may seem fair, it's like that sometimes. It don't seem fair at all. It's like that sometimes. But then I had to stay focused. It's like when I'm going through my different things, and it's just like you're earning them. when you have not yet got what you want. And it's not saying that you're not going to get it. It's like you still got some other things you may need to heal from, or you had to be able to come align with, or you may be able to have to close certain doors and cut certain cords for you to be able to receive that. So you have to understand, just because you're not getting it right now, when you finally do get it, you're going to understand why I did not give up, or why things had to be so hard. Because if we got things without having to go through a struggle, it'll be gone, because you ain't going to learn nothing. You're not going to appreciate it, because you always feel like it's going to be there. I can do whatever I want. Oh, it's still there. No, that's not how it works. There are some people that are blessed to be able to do stuff like that. But then when I see how I'm working, even though I'm not like some, YouTubers that got like about, you know, 30 mil, on subscribers, and it's like 45 minutes. They can put their upload their video within 2 minutes and got over 200, 200 views. I like the way I'm doing it, because I'm doing this through experience of progression. I'm doing it through my growth. So nobody can't sit up here and say I got this because who I was related to, or who I don't hooked up with, that collab with me. Because, I see a lot of different YouTubers that are helping people out. So they put them on there, start doing different videos with them, like doing couples or whatever you want to call it, collaborations with them. So when they get their people up, they can do that. Or there are certain subscribers I'm to, and that they were on certain shows. Like I love watching Amazing Top 10. And next thing you know, my girl Aiming, what's her name, Hassan, left. Where I was watching something Overload. I forgot what it was. Overload something. But I think it's like with them too. And then one of the other girls left. I forgot, dog. Charlotte. I think that's her name, Charlotte. But she was very funny. I can't remember her name because it's been a while since I've seen it. But those are the way it is. A lot of times you can get blessed like that. But with me, it seems, it's a blessing to me in a different way, because the fact is I had to earn mine step by step. I didn't have anybody to do that. I've had a blessing where I've had different subscribers, different YouTubers, that gave me the insight that I need to have to get along that way, because that's what the plan was. They wanted to make sure I can succeed, but I had to be able to do it on my own. Like there's a couple of people that I know that was wanting to like start their YouTube channel. They're like, Roslynn, can you collaborate with me? And I tell them, and it's not, I'm saying this to be arrogant or conceited or thinking I'm better than anybody. Because I put my pants leg on one leg at a time. If I get cut, I'm still bleeding, still bleeding like that. But it's like, I don't mind helping, but if there are certain life lessons that you got to go through for me to be able to meet you that way, I can't be able to do that. That's why I said if the universe will allow me to do that, I'll do that. And I'll say that a lot of times. And some people may take that as me feeling like I'm better than you. No, it's not. But if there's, universe is, if it's meant in the cards for that to happen, universe is going to make sure that happens. And it's not like I don't want to tell you a simple yes or simple no. I want to tell you yes, and I can't own up to that, because that means I'm backpedaled off of what I said I was going to do. So I never do that. And I always tell people, if it's meant for me from the universe to connect with you like that, I'll go ahead and do that. Because there's a lot of things you may need to learn, or there may be some things that you had to break away with. Because when you intervene on something, and I tell people that, we're all light working in whatever way. We're all helping other people because we have that habit of gravitating towards people that need those answers or need that assistance. And I tell people, if you're asking me a question, I can, a lot of times, most likely all the time, um, I can feed off the vibes that you're giving me. And you just tell me, hey, Rosalind, I got this, that, and the third going on in my life. I need advice. And I'm just like, hey, you got to cut that cord, because whatever they got going on in their life that they need to learn, they need to set free from, they need to focus on, or they need to let go of, it ain't going to just, spill off in their life. It's going to spill off in yours too. Are you willing to give up your blessing for somebody who ain't even appreciating the blessings that they got? Hell to the no. I'm not about to break my blessings up because somebody else ain't trying to listen. I've had people cut me off because there was certain still, toxic vibes I was holding on to. And I can't even blame them for doing that, because it was like I seen it coming, but I was so focused on the things that has been taken away from me, the things that I was robbed. Because I had every right to go through that, but I had to go through those motions just like everybody else. We're all going through different things that we have gone through. And there are certain things we still struggle with. You know what you struggle with. You know what has gone in place. And it's just like, I feel like it's a blessing And I feel so blessed for that. And that's why I tell y'all, it took me a minute, but then I had to allow myself to say, bump what all them distractions are, where it's like a hater or people coming at you with the negative BS. Look at the positive things that's taking place, and then you'll appreciate the negative things, because you have to be able to appreciate them both at the same time, because they're teaching you something. Maybe you need to learn, like if you're dealing with a manipulator because they want to cross boundaries, then you can see how they actually work. So when you see that vibe pop up again, you already know what to do. You already know what to do. But then you're going to have somebody that's going to come into your life that really is going to appreciate what you're showing them, because you went through this, you have overcome this, and they're trying to be where you're at. And when you can be encouraging to that person, you're planting the seed, not just for you. You don't realize when you planted that one seed, just because you are manifesting so much in your good deeds, because you know what it felt like to be where you're at. And I mean at that lowest point. And then they bring somebody in your life that may be struggling from the things you don't already overcome. And when you're allowing yourself to give that seed off to somebody else, passing that, it's like passing the baton to them. You don't realize that you're preparing a whole harvest just because you did that, because it's starting off a domino effect when you're doing that, because you're sending out that nourishment of love that you don't expect, and that's instilling into their seed. And I always tell people, we always want to be able to tell our views. Not everybody's ready for that message, and I tell people a lot. I say there's a saying. I say you can't force a baby to walk when they're still in that crawling stage. You can't, because a lot of people ain't ready to receive that message. But it ain't no problem in the power to plant that seed. Now, if they don't want to nourish that mess, you did your part. And I tell people, you did your part. You say what you say, and if it clicks to them, they'll figure it out. They will figure it out. But you have did your part. But allow yourself to monitor yourself, not monitor everybody else around you, because a lot of times we do that. We tend to focus ourselves on the wrong thing. When we're allowing ourselves to nurture that seed, make sure it's in the right set of the ground level, because a lot of times I say my mom got a green thumb. I don't know what kind of thumb I got, but it ain't one no green one. But it's just like when you're planting that, you got to make sure you got it in the good ground, because a lot of times in certain places you can plant something and it's like is bringing up dead stuff, so it's not really getting a and getting where it needs to get. You water it, give it the right sunlight, talk to it if you need to, nurture it, take care of it. And when you're planning whatever you're planning that you want to receive, you have to make sure that energy is being fed towards that. And I have to remind myself that all the time, no matter what's going on. Allow yourself to press pause. Allow yourself to press pause, because it's just like you're learning from those things. And a lot of times it's hard, like Roslynn, it's easy said and done. You ain't got to deal with what you're dealing with, what I'm dealing with. Nah, but I'm dealing with what I'm dealing with. And I have to be able to tell myself that. Get out that habit. As soon as if you feel like a negative comment is coming up towards you, or something from the past is coming back, see, visualize yourself as seeing a spiritual vacuum cleaner. And when that process of thought comes up, be honest with yourself. What is if this keeps coming up, what am I feeling? Okay, if this person cheated on me, um and this situation came up, okay, how does it make you feel? It makes me feel betrayed. It makes me feel hurt. It makes me feel stupid. Okay, you allow that vacuum to come up. You get emotion out right along with that feeling, and you imagine yourself of that person, that thought, whatever you are feeling in that emotion right there, when you're keeping it real with yourself, how that made you feel, you know, and then allowing that vacuum just to suck all up, and you allow yourself to say, I'm freeing myself of that, that fear-based attachment, or that low vibe, frequency, and allowing yourself to send love towards that person, send compassion towards that first person, forgiveness. And it's hard to do that, especially if there's somebody that is in your life at that point in time where you can't break yourself free from, because there's stuff that you're still healing from. There's stuff that you still need to recognize. There's stuff that you still need to let go, because the universe and everything, they want to be able to give that to you. But if you're still holding on to that, you can't be able to receive that. And I had to be able to tell myself, there are certain people that watches my videos just try to plot on that. I don't care, because when you're silent, when you're solid with what you're believing in, knowing that you're manifesting, regardless of who is saying no. When God says yes, the universe says yes, it ain't gonna matter to what they're doing. It's not gonna matter. And a lot of times it's like you're wanting to do this, but you know that they're gonna come back in your life and try to intervene something. But you know, if you're stronger in your belief, your faith within yourself, the faith within the universe, God, what whoever you call the Almighty to whoever you pray to, if you do decide to pray, if you're solid with that, that outside can't mess with the inside. So especially if there's no enemy inside, the enemy on the outside can't take that. And I had to be able to tell myself that you're gonna have many people plotting on you. There are gonna be many things the devil's gonna send your way to distract you. Have you all scattered, have you all occupied in your thoughts about mundane stuff or whatever you want to call it, irrelevant things. They're gonna have you doing that because they see that blessing that you're manifesting. They see those things that are coming your way. They see that there's things that's more deserving of you than what you even asked for. So they're gonna be keep sending those things for you. There's gonna be people out here that watch you more than they watch themselves. It's like you can even pass gas. They'll know about it before you even come through, the one that stank back there. They'll know about it before it gets there. That's how much they watch you. That's how much they watch me. I'm like, God dog, what's my schedule for tomorrow? You'll know. Let me ask you before I know. And I have to be able to do that. But then I can say I appreciate them for that because this is the things that I got myself love from. You can't manipulate me. I already know what you're doing. Even though you may be plotting a lot just to try to face somebody else that you don't lie about. Okay, I'll play that game. Even though I may have gotten the answer later, but then it's just like I'm learning from those things, and I can be able to appreciate it, even though it may have ripped my heart out or had my mind disturbed. I can at least say that strength came in from that, and I admire that person for that because that's what they were saying in my life. This is what I we were going to be, and we planned all this. Is that the little bitty fine points, they kind of erase that part, but then it's like everything that you're going through everything that you're going through. Appreciate that. It's hard to do that, but then you have to allow yourself to flip the script on yourself. These are the things you got your strength from. These are the things you got your determination from. Because there's a lot of times, if these weren't pressed on you so hard, and I had to listen to this a lot of times I have to remind myself of that. If I wasn't put in a hot seat, how hard would I go for myself? Because nobody else ain't gonna go hard for you but you. If it was so easy, you wouldn't learn anything, you wouldn't appreciate anything, you wouldn't know about yourself. But now, since you're put in your own little war, and you already won the battle, but it takes your mind to be able to understand what your soul is trying to get you to know. Ooh, that was deep. I'm going to my higher self now, but it was just like they were like, Roslynn, going to low level. Okay, bring yourself right back up. I'm on my own roller coaster here. You ain't trying to go to no low level, because I'll be quick to want to give a silent shout out indirectly towards certain things. But it's just like, I appreciate everything that I've gone through. I appreciate the people that have been brought in my life for me to be able to understand what I was brought here for. And you have to be able to do the same thing. Nourish that seed. You appreciate what that seed is going through. A lot of times we are pressed in the darkness because there are certain things about ourselves that need to be shined into the light. That we are that light to be able to guide ourselves through that. So appreciate those different things. But I would love to give a post notification shout out to Michelle Richardson, Zane Valen. Much love to you. Welcome to the fam. Val Stover. It's so good to hear from you, Val. And Danielle Mason and Cynthia V and Netta Queen of Diamond 49. Welcome to the fam as well. I hope you are able to resonate with content in this video, y'all. Y'all know I get funny, I get silly at times, and I get downright damn serious because this is serious stuff. So I hope you were able to resonate with it. I hope y'all have a blessed, safe weekend. Be responsible for everything you do. I'll leave all my contact information in the description box below the video in case you want to get in touch with me and talk privately, basically give a deeper understanding about your purpose of mission, or trying to understand if there are certain things that you're going through that other people can relate to, or just being able to exchange views. There's a lot of people I talk to have a beautiful conversation with that we are learning off of each other, but is being able to have an interaction with somebody like-minded is truly appreciating to me. So yeah, that you're truly blessed, highly favored, and forever loved. And knowing there's always someone out there, praying for your better days. And I pray that everything you're trying to manifest, it comes way more than you ever expected and comes faster than you expected to receive it. And even through social distancing, make sure you give out love, light, positivity, words, vibes, frequencies. You never know. All those things really take somebody a long way. And I'll see you on my next video. Peace.